Hey friend, welcome. Let's start with something real. You've been shrinking to survive for so long that it started to feel normal. Almost comfortable, even. But lately, something's been shifting. That old space you once fit into. It's starting to itch. Not because it's toxic, but because it's too small now. Too quiet for the power that's waking up inside you. Too slow for the fire building in your chest. You're outgrowing what you used to call home. And guess what? They feel it, the people who built their comfort around who you used to be, yeah, they feel it too. This message, it's for those of you who've been growing spiritually, quietly, behind the scenes. But now, the seams are breaking. The room can't contain you anymore. And no, it's not your ego. It's your frequency, it's expanding, pushing past old ceilings. You can't unsee what you've seen, you can't fit back into spaces your soul has already walked away from, and you definitely can't stay still in environments where your energy is now too loud. It didn't start as an explosion, it started quietly, a little discomfort here, a strange hesitation there, a soft whisper inside saying, "You're not meant to be here anymore." At first, you brushed it off. Thought maybe you were just being impatient. Overthinking again. Maybe even being a little dramatic, but now the walls are closing in, the conversations don't land. The rooms that used to feel safe, don't, even the laughter. It's thinner, and it's not because you're broken, it's because you're evolving. There's a moment in every journey where healing becomes something more. You're not just repairing anymore, you're breaking out. And when that moment arrives, everything that once felt fine starts to feel like chains. You're not crazy. You're not ungrateful, you're becoming, and here's something people rarely talk about, others can feel it before you ever say a word, they feel your absence, while you're still in the room. Because energy always leaves first, your spirit moves on before your body does. The people who once leaned on your softness, they're starting to feel your new boundaries. The ones who loved how convenient you were, they're uncomfortable now around your calling. You're becoming too expensive for their comfort zones, too expansive for their expectations. And they feel it, they feel you outgrowing them, but you don't have to say anything, you really don't. Your silence says plenty. Your posture has shifted, you're not seeking approval anymore, you're not chasing, you're not explaining, you're just becoming. Undeniable, and the world around you, it's trying to adjust to that. Some will celebrate you, some will back away, some will try to drag you back into old roles that no longer fit you, but don't fall for it. Don't get pulled back by the emotional weight of old dynamics. When God starts stretching your spirit, everything that once fit starts to feel like suffocation, even if it was love, even if it was family. Because here's the thing, real love won't keep you small, true alignment won't ask you to dim. So if you've been feeling uncomfortable lately, if the things that once fulfilled you now feel empty, if you've got this strange urge to run but no idea where to go, that's not failure, it's a spiritual growth spurt. And those are never tidy. Never chill. Never convenient. You're not falling apart, you're being resized, and everything you're leaving behind, it served the version of you that no longer exists. They feel you outgrowing them, not because you said anything, but because your energy doesn't shrink to fit their needs anymore. And that, my friend, is beautiful. That's holy. You're not just walking away from a situation, you're walking away from a version of yourself. The one that made survival look like success, the one who got applauded for how much they endured, for how well they stayed quiet, for how gracefully they tolerated being overlooked. But let's be real, your soul never signed a long-term lease with that version. That was temporary housing, sacred, yes. But not your final form. You didn't betray anyone by changing, you just stopped betraying yourself, and now, everything that was built around your containment, is starting to shake. Not because you're tearing things down on purpose, but because truth always rearranges the room. Some people will say you changed, they'll say you used to be easy to be around, that now you're distant, unpredictable, maybe even selfish. But the truth is, you were never easy, you were just quiet, you were doing the spiritual math in your head. Asking, is it worth it to stay small so that they stay comfortable? And now you know the answer. You've extended so much grace to people who only loved the version of you that didn't challenge them, that didn't ask for depth, that didn't reflect back their avoidance. But now, your presence, it's becoming a mirror, and mirrors, they make people uncomfortable, because mirrors don't just show who you are, they reveal who they're refusing to become. Don't shrink to protect others from their discomfort. Don't go back to old rooms just because you know where the furniture used to be. You're not meant to be familiar anymore, you're meant to be free. That discomfort you've been feeling, it's not a mistake, it's not a sign that you're lost or off track, it's confirmation that the old environment, the one you once fought so hard to stay in, can no longer host the version of you that's emerging. Even your body knows it. You feel drained after conversations that used to energize you. You walk into familiar rooms and your chest gets tight. You wake up in a life that used to feel like home, with no clue where the next door is. But don't panic, don't rush to fill the silence, that pause, that in-between, that space you're in right now. It's not emptiness, it's preparation, it's God renovating the new room, it's sacred construction. You didn't miss your shot, you didn't mess up your timeline, you've just become too aligned to stay in misalignment, too self-aware to keep playing unconscious roles, too awake to pretend to be asleep again. And when you get to that point, you'll start to recognize your people, because they won't ask you to dim, they won't be threatened by your glow, they'll recognize it, because they carry the same light. So walk forward. Not to prove anyone wrong, not to prove anything at all, walk forward because you're finally becoming the version of yourself you were never allowed to be before. Let them feel it, let the space shift, let the room tremble. You're not leaving to hurt anyone, you're leaving to honor your spirit, you're leaving to live in your size, and that is the holiest kind of growth. You've outgrown pretending, you've outgrown the need to be understood. You've outgrown translating your soul into a language that others refuse to learn. So now you walk different, you speak slower, you pause before saying yes, you no longer explain peace like it's a crime scene, you simply exist as you are. And let that be enough. And yes, some people will misunderstand you, some will talk, some will leave. Let them, they were only aligned with the version of you that stayed small to make everyone else comfortable. And you're not small anymore, you're soft, still, but now you're soft on purpose, not soft to be walked over, not soft to be ignored. You're soft with boundaries, soft with direction, soft with power. Your evolution isn't loud, but it is unmistakable. You're soft-spoken now, not because you're unsure, but because you've learned that peace doesn't need permission. You've entered a new stage, one where clarity is louder than words, where you no longer rush to respond, where silence is power, not absence, and people around you, they're noticing. They don't always know what changed, but they feel it. They feel it when you don't jump to explain your worth. They feel it when you stop translating your soul into something palatable. They feel it when your energy walks in first, before your words ever do. You've become a mirror, not by trying, but by being. And that's the thing about mirrors, they don't just show you. They show people the parts of themselves they've avoided for years. Some people don't want to see that. They don't want to face what your presence reflects, so they'll call you distant. They'll say you've changed. They'll label your evolution as arrogance. But that's just fear talking. They're afraid because you no longer fit inside the version of you that made them feel safe. You're not predictable anymore. You're not passive. You're not making yourself smaller to make others feel secure. And the more you expand, the more that unsettles people who've built their stability on your silence. But your silence, it's not compliance anymore. It's confirmation that it says, I'm no longer shrinking just so others can stretch. You've started breaking the unspoken contracts, the ones where you kept playing roles you never actually agreed to, the one where you played the understanding one, the quiet one, the one who doesn't ask for too much. But now, you're asking for space, for depth, for truth, for alignment, and not everyone can give that. Some people will walk, some will ghost, some will try to guilt you into going back to the version of you that cost you everything, just to make them comfortable. But this time, you won't return, not because you're bitter, not because you want revenge, but because your soul finally knows the cost of pretending, and you're done paying it. There's a sacredness to this new version of you. It didn't come easy. You earned this clarity. You bled for this self-respect. You cried your way into this alignment. You spent years wondering if it was all in your head, if you were the problem. If maybe you were just asking for too much, but now, you see it. You were just ahead of your environment. You weren't the problem, you were the invitation for something deeper, and most weren't ready for that. but now, you are, and that changes everything. You're no longer living in reaction, you're no longer building a life from defense, you're building from knowing, from clarity, from soul. You walk into a room now, and you don't scan for who might reject you, you scan for resonance, you scan for truth, and if it's not there, you're at peace walking away. That's the power that comes when you stop auditioning, when you realize you were never here to beg for belonging, you were here to become, and to let what's real find you, and what's real, it won't ask you to hide, it won't shame your light, it won't flinch when you speak from your soul, it will recognize you, because it speaks the same language. So here you are now. In the hallway between what was and what's coming, in the space where nothing's quite defined yet, in the sacred unknown, it's tempting to turn around, to go back to what's familiar, to find an old version of yourself that others still approve of. But don't. This moment right here, this in-between, this quiet tension, is where rebirth begins. This is where your new life gets built, in silence, in small choices, in powerful, private decisions no one else may ever see. You may not have applause right now, you may not have understanding, but you have truth, and that is the foundation everything real is built on. So stay the course, don't rush, don't explain, don't shrink, just become, let them feel it, let the old dynamics shake, let the people who are only loyal to your silence fall away. You're not responsible for managing their discomfort anymore, you're responsible for honoring your growth, because your spirit, it's already moved into the next room, your destiny, it's echoing ahead of you, waiting for your full arrival, so go. Not with fear, not with resentment, go with reverence. With fire in your chest and peace in your spine, you're not walking away from love, you're walking toward a version of love that includes you, too, you're walking toward alignment so rich. It doesn't require translation, you're walking toward a life that doesn't need to be explained to be felt, and when you get there, the ones meant for you won't just see you, they'll recognize you, because they've been walking this same sacred road, too. So breathe deep, stand tall, and keep moving. You're not leaving to prove anything, you're leaving because it's time, and everything sacred in you already knows it. Thank you for walking this journey with me. If this message resonated, don't forget to like the video, share it with someone who might need it, and subscribe so we can keep growing together. And if you're ready for the next step in your journey, choose one of the videos on the screen. You're not alone, you're just becoming everything you were born to be.